Today is Wednesday, July 7th, 2021. I am here in the dojo to fold Rob's hakama for one last time. It's been a long time since I've been in this dojo, since before the pandemic. And I remember the last time I was here, I was teaching with just my dad and myself and Rob. And we just did as many classes on our own as we could before the stay-at-home order came out. And that was one of the last times I saw Rob. The last time I saw him, as I think of it, is back, I believe, in November of last year, when he came to the annual cornhole tournament at Cornerstone Christian Church, the men's ministry. I remember that was the first time in a long time that I really went out to socialize, and that was the last time I got to see Rob. So I'm going to be folding his hakama. Normally at the end of classes, Rob and I would race. I mean, it was more, not so much of a race, it was more of just a game we played where I race him to see who folds the hakama first, and because of my competitive nature and who knows why else, I was 9 times out of 10 the winner of the race. Sometimes he gets the jump on me and he actually beats me. And this time, I want to take my time to fold this hakama. I know I could do it in 1 minute and change, but I think I want to take my time and make sure it's perfect. Because this is not something I will just use the next day to just fold it again on a daily basis like I used to train. I've kind of been putting off doing this because part of me wants to think that and believe it's not real. That Rob would be able to fold this hakama himself. That I'd get to race him once more. That I'd get to train with him, do yi owaza, as he so lovingly called it, to do yi nagi. And to just train weapons between what we dubbed Star Wars, the Mickey Mouse from the Kirikaeshi, the Josaburi, as well as the Kumitachi. I guess I think to myself that maybe if I just sit here, it doesn't have to be real. Well, I guess I'll begin. Rob was one of my first friends here when I transitioned from the kids class to the adult class. This was, I don't even know how many years ago, but before they had the teens class and before we had many people training long enough to go from kids to adults. So it was daunting for me at the time. I believe I was probably 11 or 12, probably 12. I am usually pretty nervous and shy when it comes to doing things. And it's only when I get comfortable, when I see a few familiar faces, that I really feel like I could do something and be there and flow. Rob was kind enough to be one of my first training partners for adult class, and he took his time to be, well, kind and understanding of a pre-teenager trying to continue the development of his skill and learning in the art of Aikido. Oops. I want to really make sure it's perfect. And the great thing about Rob is he was a conversationist. He would always find something to talk about. He would figure out what you would like, what you enjoyed, and he would know how to turn anything into a whole bunch of fun. I would eventually learn he likes DC comics and probably knows the comics way better than I ever will. He knows the shows, the characters, and everything. And I really discovered all of this when I told him I was watching the TV show Arrow on the CW. And then from that point, we would pretend that I was the Green Arrow and he was John Diggle. And whenever he walks in through the doorway to enter the dojo to train, I would always pretend to shoot an arrow at him as if I'm the Green Arrow and I'm so fast at what I do that I can get my target right as they walk through the door and not give them a chance to react. And that later would become me being Batman, because that's my preferred hero, and he would say that he was Commissioner Gordon. Or even before all of this, because I was the youngest of the 3 Yis, I would be dubbed Little Dragon. And he would be Cuckoo Dragon. And it was just fun just kind of having a little nickname and then even just making lighthearted jokes about how his coconut water the brand was Harmless Harvest, but we would joke and say Harmful Harvest. And it doesn't even matter if he was drinking that coconut water, just whatever he brought, whatever drink he had in his container, it's just always Harmful Harvest. And just thinking about it, all of the times that we would joke about how his gi has holes, how his clothes have holes, and he's just like, it's stylish. Which is comical, but it's true. There is a certain style to having holes in your clothes. And I don't think anybody else could rock that better than he could. Wow, these straps are longer than I thought. I think it's safe to say that Rob Reiss was, and definitely still is, one of my best friends from here. He would be there for all sorts of things. We would go out to dinner. He would be supportive. He would be at my birthday parties. It was great. He would be there for my sister, for my brother, attending cabaret night at the high school, which is basically a talent show, in case you weren't aware. And when he won a prize, there was a drawing board where you just kind of put your name on a few squares. If you draw that square, or if they draw that square, then you win a $5 gift card to somewhere. He won a Subway gift card once, and he came up to me after class one night and said, "Jeff, I'm never going to use this. Do you want it?" And in fact, I still have that card here in my wallet. I carry it with me every day for some reason. I don't know if it still held the value, since sometimes gift cards lose value over time, because I don't remember when he gave it to me, but something as simple and seemingly meaningless as a Subway gift card was something I will continue to cherish. All of the times that I got to train with him, or when he trained with me, all the tests we took together. I think the only test we didn't take together was our showdown test, but that was because I was away at college. And despite taking his showdown test before me, once I got my showdown test done and I passed it, he would continue to act as if I were senpai, which shouldn't make sense since he was showdown longer than me. But he was just incredibly humble, and no matter what you do or say to him, he would always find a way to make light of it and to find a way to give you all the glory and to give you the show, let you have the dance floor, so to speak. I suppose at this part of the folding of the hakama, this is when I usually would beat him, and when I win, the joke was I would slide the hakama over to him where he's sitting from my spot to his spot as a way of saying, "Look, I finished." And I would tease him saying, "What, you're only so far into it?" From an outside perspective, that's incredibly rude, but we had this interesting dynamic of trying to play with each other. It's not your typical friendship. But I wouldn't want it to be typical. I wouldn't trade the world for the time I got with Rob, for however many years that was, for all those hours on the training floor. There's no amount of money, no treasure in the world that I would want to sacrifice these memories and these joys I've had with him. All of the dinners we've been to for the Lighthouse Pregnancy Resource Center, my graduation party back in 2017 at Maggiano's when I finished, all of the birthday parties he's attended to, the Aikido parties that we've had at our house, even the New Year's parties that we've had here in the dojo. Gathering around, celebrating the ringing in of a new year, eating food together, socializing. Needless to say that Robert Reiss is probably one of the best men I will ever know. They don't make them like they used to, as they say. So kind and caring. He's left me some big shoes to fill, to be as kind and caring, as understanding, as open to ideas and understanding the intricacies of other people's thoughts. To see how somebody else walks in their shoes in their life. To really understand a person for who they are. I don't know if I'm up for the challenge, but he led by example, and I just want to hopefully do half as much as what he could. I should be so lucky to do half. wish there could be so many things different. Wish I could have gone back and started training earlier on, when as soon as the dojo started opening up again, even with masks, social distancing, certain cleaning routines. This is the first time I've been back in over a year, and I'm not even here to train. To just have one more moment with Rob would mean the world to me. I would trade anything I have in my possession, and I would trade even anything outside of my possession so that I can just go push forward to grab whatever I needed in order to get even just another minute with Rob. I was hoping that maybe one day he'd be able to see me graduate from college, to even be invited to, hopefully, my wedding if I have one in the future. Who knows, because life takes its own course. And to just invite him to everything, even my next birthday party in a few weeks. Or even when my sister graduates, when my brother does something, when my mom and dad do something, I don't know. Just any excuse to be together. I definitely miss Rob. It's like this hole in my heart that you can't really fill with anything. But I know that someday I'll see him again. I would hope that he I don't know. No. Anyways, here it is. Rob's hakama. I guess one funny thing is that because of the way it's folded, if you pull on the straps a certain way, you can just, and then let the gravity do its thing, the hakama unfolds. And one thing I would do for fun is when he walks in, if I'm still getting my hakama on, if I haven't even unfolded it, I would grab the straps and kind of fling it at him. One time I accidentally hit him a little harder than I anticipated to. Luckily no injuries, but and all of the sayings that we have together. Owa, Tagu, Siam. You say it faster and faster, eventually it sounds like, oh, what a goose I am. He would claim it's Japanese, and you're supposed to get into the rhythm of practicing it faster and faster until you keep saying, oh, what a goose I am. And I didn't even realize it until after a while. He's just like, do you get it? And I said, get what? And he says, you're saying, oh, what a goose I am. Or all the, I'm Batman. And he would try to do this hand symbol that I do for Batman. Where it's just basically like two finger guns, but you put them together so it looks like a bat. And all the times he would refer to me as his brother and try to say it like Thor and go, brother! I don't even do it justice. Or when we would recite the Green Lantern, which I don't know why, but because I don't really know the Green Lantern much, but it is a good saying, and we would say to each other, in darkest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern flight. And we would make the fist as if we had the Green Lantern ring, and then touch an imaginary lantern and go, whee, as if the light is shining. Or all the times he tries to speak Chinese, I think Mandarin, if I'm correct. It could be Cantonese, I don't know. I don't even know Chinese myself. He would always go, Han Hao, Puka Chi. Don't know what he's trying to say, but it was always fun saying it to him when he walks in. Han Hao, Puka Chi. Pour over Rob. As a final note, I do remember one time, my siblings and I, we were just going out to dinner because the parents were out, and we decided on a place in Ridgewood. We were trying to find parking, and I think it was a Friday or Saturday night. You're never going to find parking close to where you want to go. So we're driving around in circles, and we passed by the Ridgewood Coffee Company, RCC as he called it, three or four times. And I was saying to Nick, who was sitting in the passenger seat, wouldn't it be funny if Rob was right there, right now, just having his coffee like he normally does at night? And we parked the car, we just happened to be passing by, and I look outside, and at the outdoor table that they had there, I see Rob sitting there. And I'm just like, oh, look at this. And it was fun. And it's funny because he was saying he thought he saw my car 3 or 4 times and he wasn't sure if it was me. And lo and behold, here we both are. We both had similar thoughts, just thinking, oh, that's gotta be Jeff, or, oh, I wonder if Rob's there. Robert Reiss, I will miss you. And I've loved you dearly as a friend, as a brother, even a mentor. Showing the world your kindness, your compassion, your understanding. It's all something I never will get a grasp of just yet, but I will try my best to honor your legacy. I hope I can start by giving you one last folding. I will see you again one day, brother. Commissioner Diggs.